What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 19 of Infected by a MOAB. This time we're on the map Hardhat and we're using the Akimbo FMG9's. This is the first Infected by a MOAB episode on Hardhat, the first time that I did get an infected MOAB on the map. Now we're down to 3, Bakara, Invasion, and Carbon. Those are the last 3 maps, the regular maps that I need to get a MOAB on infected, and then I will have them all. So we're getting there. Hardhat is one of those maps where it's just pretty difficult to get an infected MOAB, no matter what you're playing. With the Akimbo FMG9's and how I played this game, I am very surprised that I ended up getting a MOAB. This is probably the sloppiest MOAB I have ever gotten in infected, and it's definitely the only episode that I've run around essentially the entire game. Very rarely in this game am I in one spot for longer than I would say 15 seconds. I hold down different areas, but I am constantly running around, and my strategy in this particular game was completely opposite of anything that I do in my Infected by a MOAB series. The strategy that I'm using, the tactics, I mean, basically from start to finish, I'm breaking all my own rules throughout this game, and I'm very surprised that I got the MOAB. This middle area is what I hold down for the most part, and I would not recommend being over here. You can see there are multiple entryways for the infected. Right down there is going to be the most common, but right behind me you see is also very dangerous, because the second you turn your back, there's at least 2 spawn points behind me right there that the infected will spawn on after they die, so it's one thing to keep in mind. You need to have people constantly around you, and I mean, essentially I would guard this area right over here. That's where most people go, and I'll go back to it as the game goes on and kind of explain to you what I would do instead. But if you can go and hold down this area pretty well, I mean, you're going to be okay. This tunnel right here is a great spot to get kills. As you can see, most of the infected like to line up here because there's usually 3 or 4 people around this tunnel, and it attracts the infected. But the thing about that tunnel is you're very susceptible to throwing knives. It's basically a straight shot, and if you got a whole bunch of C4s down there and a throwing knife lands on the C4, you're gonna get screwed. That really sucks if you get killed by your own C4 or someone else's C4 by a throwing knife. So I would definitely not recommend being over by the tunnel. This area right here is what I was talking about. If you can hold down this area, you're gonna have a much easier time. There's basically 2 main entrances that the infected can come at you. It's basically this side and then the side directly behind me that I came toward the tunnel area, and that's usually what I like to do. And right here I was very close to dying. This entire game I was incredibly aggressive. You see I'm long past my specialist bonus already. It's 9 on 9, and right here we do lose the advantage, and I'm still running around, and I should not be running around this much. Like I said, I'm breaking all my rules, but the fact that I was aggressive throughout this game, I got twice as many kills as anybody else, and it was because I was aggressive. And aggression really does help an infected. It does get you the MOAB a majority of the time, because you constantly have to be fighting for kills. But you also have to be careful. I was 80% lucky, and I would say 90% lucky, 10% careful throughout this game. You see right here I do start to get a little bit cautious, a little bit paranoid, because it's 4 on 14 and I'm still a ways away. This spot right here that I'm standing on is a perfect spot for basically any game, I mean any gun type. And you see right there I got the MOAB, and I was really trying to call it in. I did call it in right there, so it did count it, and then unfortunately that guy came out of nowhere, but I did get a chance to call it in, which is really awesome. This was a sloppy game. I was all over the place, but it was definitely an entertaining gameplay. It was very fun for me to play. It was very nerve-wracking, but I'm glad that I finally did get a MOAB on Hardhat. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up button if you did. Also hit that subscribe button for future Call of Duty videos. I'm going to have a second Infected by a MOAB episode up later on tonight, so definitely look forward to that. Like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later.